Good morning. In Isaiah, the well-instructed tongue will teach us. The well-instructed tongue. How does a tongue teach us? Or do we teach a tongue and then it teaches us? That's a good question. I think it teaches us not only to say or what to say, but how to say it. It also teaches us how not to speak and when we shouldn't speak. Sometimes not speaking, but just listening is more powerful than saying anything. Ask a grieving widow or a sibling or even a congregation. And ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry for your loss for your retired pastor. I truly am. I know what it's like. Or you can even ask someone who just found out they had cancer. I was with my brother when he was diagnosed with it. I didn't know what to say at that time. When he found out, all I could do was just be there with him. And I told him I was sorry. I told him, I says, I don't know what to say, but I'm sorry. He says, just being here with me is all I need. And sometimes that's just enough. So remember, sometimes just being there listening is enough. Sometimes speaking the wrong words or saying the wrong word or just saying the wrong thing at the wrong time can be hurtful, even if it's not meant to be. And it's in that knowing is what makes the difference. When a baby is at the stage where he can reach, grab, laugh, and all that goofy stuff, that a baby normally does, we usually hold them up, play with them, let them grab your beards for those of you men that have beards. We think it's funny, or if you wear glasses like me, they tend to grab your glasses and pull them off. We think it's funny, we laugh, we just try to get the glasses without them breaking and stuff like that. Well, think of this. What if somebody you know, but you're not real close to, was to walk up to you and just grab your beard and start shaking it? Or grab your glasses and just pull them off your face? You going to grab your glasses with one hand or take their hand off your beard with one hand and double your fist with the other and connect the fist with the face? Some will, some won't. Some will just take their finger and just point and give them the business. That's things that people do. So why would it be different to do that not do that to a baby, but to a man? We're all human, correct? I think so. A baby doesn't know any better. But does the man? Sometimes. My point here, ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, it's in that knowing. Like what Jesus said when he was being lashed and when he was being hanged on the cross. For they know not. Yes, they know not what they do. Please forgive them, Father. Jesus did not try to defend himself at either point in time when he was being punished. He merely stated that they didn't know. He actually defended the people that was punishing him. He asked and pleaded for their forgiveness. Imagine that. Somebody would grab your beard and you'd say, that's okay, I forgive you, instead of wanting to hit them. Today's society, I think it'd be a little hard to do, I think. So the next time a baby pulls your beard, think about this for a minute. Is the baby doing that? Or did maybe dad coerce the baby into doing it to get back at you for something. No, I'm not saying that the baby would be smart enough to do that, but you never know. So, but I am saying before you speak, think first and decide if listening is the better choice, or if you have enough information to say what is needed to be said. This week it talks about those who teach, preach, and lead. They get scrutinized more the higher up the chain you go. For me, as an example, I didn't move up any chain, but I am being graded. I'm being measured, scrutinized, or called out for any mistakes I might and probably will make. If I go to my local church and I fill the pulpit, I'm more comfortable. I can go off script and wander a bit and finish my sermon, and most people won't even notice it if I make a mistake or not. Those that do notice that I made a mistake won't say anything because it's normal. People know you're going to make a mistake. They assume it's the way it's supposed to be. I can't get away with that here yet. I'm not here every week, so people don't know what normal is with me. I have to set myself to a higher standard or to fill the pulpit, and at the same time keep myself humble to the reality that we all make mistakes, and I'm no exception. Now, there's a few of you here that do know me, and most of you that do know me from dartball, and I've already been approached by that earlier by not being as loud and cheerful as we are in dartball, so I'm trying to keep it a little low-key. I am not here simply because I know. I am here because I was taught by the people who do know and guided me in a direction to be able to help when necessary. The cycle continues on and on. If you think about it, we're all being taught. Every Sunday service, Bible study, any classes we take, or retreats that any of us might attend, we are all learning. From there, it's up to us to feel the presence of the Spirit moving within us, to find our calling and act upon it, whether it be filling the pulpit, assisting, being an accompanist, being a youth leader, working with the meal ministry, or somewhere else. We're always being called for something. It's up to us to determine what that calling is. When God talks to you, and if you don't hear him, he will call out again. It might not be the next minute, might not be that same day, but eventually he will call back out. Always have an attentive ear for God, so when he does call you, you don't miss it. Some people hear him and run and hide because of the fear they have of what is to come. I was one of those people. I ran so far I lost myself. I was in a deep, deep, dark hole. I was lost for a long time until God came to me personally. He came to me in the form of a pastor. And it was Pastor Matt Wheeler. Some of you might know him. Some of you probably don't. I don't know. Those of you that did know him, he was a good man. Those that don't, well, I'm sorry you didn't get a chance to, because like I said, for me, he was a truly good man. Pastor Matt came knocking at my door one day. I was at a low point in my life. He knocked at the door. I opened it. I said, "Can I help you?" He said, "Hi, I'm Pastor Matt. I'm from First Lutheran Church about a block up the road from you." And I thought to myself in my head, oh crap, here we go. Another Bible thumper wanting to try to get me to go to his church and take my money from me. Well, I said, okay, what do you got to offer? I thought, I'll listen and see what he says. He said to me, he goes, what problems do you have in your community? What would you like to see for the children of your community to do better? I thought, pastors don't talk like that. They want to tell you what's in the book. They want to try to get your money. This is weird. He goes, do you have any kids? I say, yes, but they're grown up. You got grandkids? Well, my kids are starting to raise families. Well, how can we make it fun for them? Okay. Come on in, have a glass iced tea or a glass ice water, and let me listen to what you have to say. Well, people, that's how I now know that the Lord will speak to you in all kinds of ways, because look at me now. 12, 13 years later, I'm standing up here, help fill in the pulpit for people that's more educated than I am, trying to do the best I can for the good Lord himself. So the Lord will speak to you in all kinds of ways. It's just a matter of how you listen to him. Peter, James, and John, they experienced the glory of God speaking firsthand up on that mountain. Jesus had taken them with him up on the mountain to reveal his glory and helped ensure their faith as they endured the difficulties of ministry after Jesus' death, his resurrection, and also his ascension. As they were coming down the mountain, they discovered a strong compassion of a young man's father. The father came to Jesus, asking him to heal the man's son. The father had tried everything possible, but could not heal him. Jesus declared, healing is possible, but it requires faith and prayer. The father replied that he wanted to believe, but he needed help with his unbelief. We often do much the same thing. We know Jesus is more able to meet our needs, but we still question whether we will answer or if he will answer our prayers. In verse 19, how long shall I stay with you? Jesus was asking the disciples, the one he must trust to do his good works, the ones he needs to trust once he is gone, were lacking the faith to cast away Satan and gain victory for that boy. Here's a little twist in this statement. Jesus wasn't talking about his disciples being unfaithful. Jesus was speaking about, and here we go, he was talking about himself. The faith in himself to provide strength in them. Jesus felt that he lacked the faith from his disciples to have the confidence to have strength and power to face Satan, and lacked the faith to overcome him. Sometimes we all fall short of the confidence needed in our faith. But be assured, Satan is lurking and waiting. He doesn't mind us going to church, attend services, singing songs, doing meals, praying prayers, or any of those things. As long as we're going through the motions, he doesn't mind. But as soon as we get serious about serving our Lord and we decide to move forward and strengthen our faith in Jesus and draw close to him, when we start feeling his power, we are likely in for a battle. Satan is in the business of defeating the church, so we need to be aware and prepared. At the end of the day, Jesus once again defeated Satan and cast him out for good. Just like then, today, we are healed from sin. We set free from the bondage of sin. We're restored to God through Jesus. We all face difficulties in life. Oftentimes, these difficulties are beyond our abilities to handle. Faith in Jesus is essential to overcome and experience victory. As we leave here today, ask yourself this question. Does it seem as your faith is weak? We need to trust that Jesus will provide even when it seems hopeless. Have faith and trust in him. Look to each other and ask for guidance and support if and when it's needed. And with that, I say, thanks be to God.